Hello everybody, and thank you for coming to this event. We'll hold this lecture in English. Today we have Irja with us. She will be talking about software testing, obviously. Yeah. We met at a developer conference called Webcamp in Zagreb, and she held a talk there. It was really impressive, and now she's here. Okay.
Thank you. Has anybody have any issues with English or no? Okay. Raise your hand.
Yeah.
So today, the idea is to introduce you with something I do for a living for almost 10 years now. I'm a software tester, so I will be talking about testing. I'll try to explain you what it is and how I do it, and I'll try to cover one part that is probably maybe not so obvious about it. That is what testers do before product is actually developed. So first, I'll just try to introduce myself a little bit. As I said, I worked for 10 years in the field, but I wasn't only a software tester during this time. I was also a business analyst for 2 years, and 3 years I've been a product owner, and during that time I launched a product that I'm testing right now, hence dog fooding. Dog fooding is also a term used to describe beta testing when companies actually use their own products. So be careful what you do when you're doing a product, because it can get you after and you're testing it. So this is the plan for today. As I said, we will see what is software testing, what testers do. I will explain how they do product reviews. When I say product review, I mean design and requirements feedbacks we give before we actually put this product into development. And the fourth part, I'll just shortly explain how to report a bug. This looks very simple to all of us, but not everybody is actually doing it right. So, let's see, what is actually software testing? Let's start first with some traditional definitions that I've found and some certification exams and boards who like to describe it as checking whether the actual results match the expected results. So basically they say it's just comparing stuff. They say it's also software testing ensures quality and also ensures a bug-free product. I don't like it actually, because I don't think that one person can ensure, especially me as a tester. I'm not coding, I'm not developing a product. So I cannot ensure that it's bug-free. So I really like to use something different that is more natural to me and to my understanding of software testing, not only to me, also my colleagues see it like that. Testing is actually quick learning about the product and modeling experiments to investigate risks, and it also has something to do with asking the right questions at the right moment, and also it includes modeling your tests and experiments so you can investigate the biggest risks in the product. So it's basically risk analysis. Okay, so what I also like to say, I want to say at the beginning that not only testers are responsible for quality. This is really popular thing to say that testers are quality gatekeepers, and when something is wrong about the product, in a lot of companies, people just pinpoint that tester. How did you miss that? This is not true. Everybody is responsible for quality. Developer, designer, product owner, business analyst, and tester, of course. But also it starts from the upper management, CEOs and stuff like that. So this is not something that one person, me as a tester, I can assure. So, what do I do actually? My job is to inform about quality, inform about risks. And I feel that it's really okay to disagree with that statement we saw at the beginning, because what is actually testing? Is it here to ensure bug-free product? Is it here to ensure quality? No. I'm here to enable people, to enable my stakeholders to make informed decisions about their product, so they know what's going on. So it's something like headlights of the product. Maybe you ask yourself, so what the heck do I do if I'm not ensuring quality? So let's see. 4 things. Testers ask a lot of questions, the right questions. We also assess risks. We do a lot of risk analysis. Our strategies are based and guided by those risks in the product. We also communicate a lot with people. We also communicate with product owners, developers about bugs and how to reproduce them. We also report those bugs. And this is something that is really important, because if you report a bad bug, what will your colleague think about you? This is the only thing he or she sees about your work, a bug report. So it's better a good one. But let's see when we do it. What's obvious, we do a lot of testing when a product is developed. In most of the companies, this is where testing is included. But what's maybe not so obvious about it is you can include testing before. You can include testing during requirements analysis, review, and you can also include it to review the design. So it's really good to uncover those risks when they're cheap, when they're still on the paper. So today, I'm actually going to talk about this first part. How do I do these product reviews? Because I have that on the webcam, so I had it ready. And also, I think it's something that's maybe not so covered a lot in the field, and not many people are actually included in this part as testers. So, why do we even review the product before? Well, as I said, it's really cheap to cover those risks at the beginning. It's really cheap to fix a bug while it's on paper in the document. And also, what's really important to say about documents, they are, when I say documents, I mean functional specifications. They actually can be misunderstood. You remember this cartoon. It's really an old one, but it's a good one, I think. Because it's not always obvious what somebody has written, and my job as a tester is also to inform about requirements that are not actually clear, or they're in collision with something else we already have in the system. But this is not the only reason why testers are good people to do those reviews. Because another reason is to improve your own work. As a designer, you probably want to have your design really clean and nice. So you can ask a tester for help with that. Also, UX researcher wants to have the application to be intuitive, so user doesn't have to think about what to do next. And of course, product owners like their requirements be understood and done yesterday, if possible. So, why not do that review yourself? It's a question that bothered me a lot when I was a product owner, and I failed to do this part. I failed sometimes to give my work to a tester for a review because I was thinking that I don't have time. But I should. But I should have done that because of my mindset. So when I'm a product owner, and I was for three and a half years, my mindset was to find the right problem to solve. Developer's mindset is more into how to solve this particular problem. And as a tester, you're always thinking about how this product, this feature can fail. And it's really hard to shift during the day between those mindsets. Believe me, I know. So, this is why today I actually do those product reviews. And if you're not convinced about that, there are also a few reasons. One reason is that everybody wants to improve their own work and deliver better artifacts. Nobody likes bugs, and maybe except testers. I really like to find a bug for a client. But nobody likes to find them on production, not even me. This is why I like to do product reviews early enough. So let's see, how do I do it? What's that product review? And why you should do product reviews. Obviously they didn't do that for this pencil they sold to a bunch of kids in schools. First, product review, what's that? It's basically asking those questions, right questions, early enough about designs and about requirements to ask them on time when it's really cheap to fix them while they're on paper, as I already said. Because asking those questions, and you don't want to be asked those questions by clients later, because it's really expensive to answer them when they're in production. So when I say software testing, in terms of product review phase, so before we develop anything, it's basically uncovering risks when everybody else sees no problem. Because designer most likely doesn't see any problem with his or her design. Also, a product person will be pretty confident about its requirements and their clarity. So me as a tester, I will try to inform them about possible problems. So, I've said risks a lot. So, I will talk a little bit about doing risk analysis. What is this? How I do it? Basically, I focus on first making a list of risks. Risks are problems that might happen later. It's really important to find out what's the most important and crucial thing from your stakeholder point of view. So you will ask the product owner, so what's the most important thing you're worried about your product? This is where you will find the important problems to inform about. You can also categorize them by, let's say, two main categories. One is project factors and another is product factors. What are project factors? Those are things related to people, maybe strange, but I'll explain, and technology. Why is it important for me as a tester to get to know the people when working? Because sometimes you will always adjust the way you work to your quality. Because I'm here as a tester to provide a service, to provide a help to a developer, to a product manager. So I have to adjust the way of working. And sometimes I know that my colleague had really typical bugs they always create because, I don't know, they forget about something. Or when you're working with junior colleagues, you will probably need to help them a bit more than senior colleagues. So this is why it's important to meet the people we're working with. It's also a technology part. Technology part, so for example, we are working with something new that we haven't yet been familiar with in the company. For example, we built, when I was the product owner, we built a product that relied on Postgre, and we didn't know nothing about Postgre database. It was new technology for us, and we had a lot of issues with it. Me as a tester right now, I would completely change my test strategy in that case, because I would probably ask developers to do more performance tests, because this is the technology, we don't know how it behaves in production. So just one, and we work before we test it, so this is why it's really important to also briefly know about technology. What's maybe obvious when doing product, when doing the risk analysis is, okay, let's see what about product factors. Product factors are requirements, business requirements, so we will check functional specifications, and we will also review designs and user experience. And this is the part where we'll talk about later. And also operational risks. So for example, what is an operational risk? I will always ask for data. I will ask data about the usage, because if a particular feature is used a lot by many clients, this is most likely the place where I will find bugs. This is why I ask about the usage of the system. How do people operate with it? So show me the data. This is the first question I always ask when I'm starting with doing these reviews. After that, you do a lot of testing, that is basically exploring those risks, and you will evaluate them and tell a person, product owner, how important is this bug or potential bug. Okay, as I said, doing requirements and design reviews in terms of risk analysis, let's see how do I do it right now. So I like to split it in 5 different categories, but this is just applicable for my context, because my application is like that, and I really need to know about all of those categories, but I think it's applicable for probably any application. First we will check for business rules and flows. If all the rules are, let's say, consistent with each other, for example, we should inform about if somebody is trying to do something that is not logical and something that will change the way how our business logic behaves, because 2 + 2 has to be 4 always in our application. Second category is, are all requirements clear? For example, when the product owner tries to explain you the requirement, and when you see a bunch of people with question marks, this is probably a situation when this is not clear. I've done that one time. I was very happy, and I had one feature to explain to developers when I was a product owner, and so a bunch of smart people in the room were like, "What? Can you draw it, please?" And that should be a red flag for me. And as a tester, I'm trying to find those red flags, because if I, as a tester who already works with this product, don't understand what this person wants us to do, then most likely developer won't understand that as well. So let's inform about that. Okay, asked for different use cases and data. As I said, data is really important, because if some feature is not used at all, probably I won't spend much time to test that feature. I won't. But I will spend a lot of time to test feature that is really used a lot by our clients, or with features that are really critical for the full flow. Fourth category is, let's say, consistency. When I say consistency, I mean if we have, we use blue CTAs on the application for confirmation, let's use it blue. Let's have it blue within the whole application. Because maybe it's really simple and it seems trivial, but when you're a user, you don't want your users to think about it, to think about which button to click. And this is just one way of, one type of inconsistency. It can also relate to having a consistent flow to confirm payments within the application, for example, stuff like that. And as I said, do a risk analysis. When I see a requirement document, I will try to find for requirements that will probably cause a heavy load to our systems. And I will inform about that. Because developers should be aware of those things, and also a product manager should also be aware of the costs for doing such things. And these are just a couple of questions that I use to ask myself when doing product reviews. This is just like a small set of questions to start with, like conversation starters. There are a bunch more questions you can ask yourself. So you will try to find, are there any complicated, unused features in your specification? Is there something missing? For example, do we have a payment flow and we are doing, let's say, a business application, and I want my clients to be aware about amount and all the fees and everything that will be charged to them. I don't want to do one-click payment like Amazon does, because we are working with businesses in this context. If I were an Amazon, I would have this one-click payment and I don't care. But in Infobip we are doing like business to business, and you don't want your clients to pay accidentally. So, as a missing feature, I would say, hey, you're missing the confirmation for a payment. Of course, always ask yourselves, are there any risks and what could go wrong with this? What could go wrong with this flow? When considering and doing reviews for designs and user experience, it's a little bit different, but again, we will try to consider a couple of categories just to get this conversation about design and UX started. I will ask always, I will try to test this design prototype on more complicated flows. Because I noticed that people really like to design things for heavy packs. I would also do that because you don't have to have time to think about more complex use cases. What happens if I have like 100 items here? Because it's really, you don't want the developer to guess about those things and to ask themselves later, oh, how should I put this within this input field? Of course, I will check if the layout is logical. Are all elements logically placed on my application? Because if we are teaching our users that major actions are on footer, let's say like save button or cancel, let's put it on save, let's put it in the footer when we are doing something new within the same product. So I should check for that. Also, I will give feedback about user experience. Was this flow intuitive for me? Am I aware of what's going on? And stuff like that. Again, consistency. I won't repeat myself. If we are teaching our users that something should be done in blue color, let's stick it with blue. Don't make our application look like circus. Also about content, when I say content, I mean like messages, wording we use in our application. If we are doing application that is meant for business people inside companies, we won't address them as teenagers, for example. I will use more professional language. And we should also inform product managers, designers, actually content writers, about things we see that are maybe not applicable to our users. And as well, if some content is missing and we need to explain a particular feature because it wasn't understandable, let's also say a word about that and doing product reviews. So I promised a couple of questions. You don't need to ask yourself, but these are just ideas. I like to ask myself when I'm reviewing some prototype. Well, I will ask, is this product easy to use? And sometimes I don't want this product to be too easy to use. As I mentioned, those payments and paying something with only one click in my context is not a good idea. Also, is the product overcomplicated? Remember the story when I told you when I was explaining to the team one requirement and nobody understood it? So this is a red flag. Is the product giving useful feedback to a user? When I say feedback, so I mean a situation when I started one action, as a user, I want the results to come immediately. I don't want this feedback to lag. For example, I start to download something, I really need to see on the screen that something is in progress, that something is downloaded. Believe me, it's important, because I also have a really bad idea when I totally missed as a product owner to design such flow, and my clients were actually kind of asking me via support, hey, where is the download? We started it, never came. So feedback is really important. And also ask if the product is self-explanatory, and if it's not self-explanatory, we as testers should ask, hey, can you maybe do this flow more intuitive? Or if it's not possible, maybe it's too late and we don't have a better idea, it's okay to maybe just add a tooltip to explain something that's complicated a little bit more. Sometimes you will do some trade-offs with designers and writers based on what they decide is a better solution. And also, is the product consistent with itself? And with our quality criteria, we actually defined together as a company, together with product manager, is this good enough? So, having that said, when you do those reviews, you will probably find a lot of bugs. So, I promised I will give you a little bit practical, let's say practical thing that you will probably carry with yourselves, because everybody finds bugs, not only testing. Developers, product managers, everybody finds bugs and everybody is reporting bugs. And to me, it seemed really simple thing to do when I started. And during my career, I had really a lot of ping pongs. You remember those ping pongs with developers when a developer says, hey, I cannot reproduce this. And then I'm like, oh, but I can reproduce it all the time. So let's do those bug reports better, because a good bug report saves everybody's time. And let's see what is a good bug report. So it consists of three typical things. Of course, the title, description, and some kind of picture or video, some kind of evidence that this thing really happened. Sometimes it's not needed. Let's see about the title. I ran into a bunch of titles that were like issue with feature X, issue with payments, issue on this page. So issue is not descriptive. When a developer sees a bug report that says issue with something, he or she probably thinks you have an issue. So let's put this title that let's have the problem first. Let's describe the problem in the title. So I like to say something like cannot make payments using PayPal. I'm testing pricing and payments as I mentioned to you before, so I know about payments in my examples today. So put the problem first in the title. It really helps a lot. When you scan all the problems, you will not have a problem to find what's going on. Another important thing is describe the bug. Describe so the person who will fix this issue will know exactly how to find what's the problem and how to find the problem. It's really important that this part. These two things are really important. I noticed that a lot of people like to put like 3 bug reports into one. And maybe sometimes I also did that. And it seems like a good idea. But as a tester, I don't know where the problem is. So putting 3 problems into one creates really a problem for a developer that will fix, for example, first problem, and the second or third will be fixed by somebody else. So let's stick to one problem per one bug report. It's much easier to do it later. Second important thing is isolating the steps. So when I started to work, I was really bad at this. And I tend to describe like almost everything I did that day before I discovered the bug. And it really helped me a lot when I sat down with a colleague of mine. He was a developer. He was a senior back then. And he said to me, hey, Irja, so this is not useful, this is not useful. And he just erased like half of my bug report. And I was like, yeah, this is good. So, isolating the steps. I never report a bug if I only reproduced it once. I will try to isolate those steps and describe it with the minimum steps how to reproduce. Because everything else is just everything else is misleading. It's misleading the person when fixing, when debugging. So help people and isolate those steps. And also it's really good to note some environment specifics or browser specifics within your bug report, but also remember to note that only when it's clickable. Because sometimes if it's happening on all environment browsers, I won't note this thing because it's obvious. And third thing, fix or it didn't happen. I like to use pictures. Just paint, plain old paint. We all know how to use it. And it's really good thing to do that because it's really easier for a developer to see the problem when you send a pic. People like to record videos. I'm not a fan of watching videos because I noticed that developers also don't like to watch videos for simple problems that could be described with only one picture. But when I started, I had a different idea and I was like, oh, let's record a video. No. I avoid recording videos when it's not important or needed. I do that only when I have like strange bugs, when the page is like flickering or when you cannot describe something with words. And this is really rare case.
You can use a GIF.
You can use a GIF. Even better. That would make my work fun. But my screenshot tool doesn't have the option to create GIFs. Too bad. And this is it actually. As a takeaway, what I would like you to maybe remember short talk is testers ask questions to clear the air. As I said, we are kind of like headlights of the project. We like to ask questions and inform people so they can make better decisions about the product. Testing can happen before product is developed. Why not? I'm doing that for a living. Of course, I'm testing the product later. But I also apply my critical thinking into a project when we have everything on paper. This is a really cool thing to do, to help people in this phase. And the third, as I explained, everybody reports bugs, everybody finds bugs. And let's make those bug reports better tomorrow in our work, because they will save everybody's time, and saving time is also good for a company. And thank you.
We can ask some questions now if anyone wants. If not, I have some questions. Okay, so I noticed that there's basically a similarity between being a product owner and a tester. So these two persons have to keep everything in mind, have to know things, they have to know how to communicate with different departments, with the clients, have to know their needs. So you mentioned that you had you spent a little, in a part of your career, you spent a little bit in a different role.
Yep.
That was more product owner.
Yes.
Yeah, so how was that experience related to being a tester, so being on the other side? Yeah.
I wouldn't say the other side.
Was it similar? Was it the other side?
We are everybody.
Yeah.
I know. It's not the same. As I said, the mindset is totally different. When I was a product owner, I was really not so critical about the product, because I needed to believe that I'm building the right thing. And as a tester, this is not the case. As a tester, I see a problem within the product. I am actually testing right now. And fun fact is, this is the product I created, and I hate some things about it right now. And before, 2 years ago, before when I launched it, it was like the best product ever. But yeah, you're right. As a tester, you communicate a lot with people. You are not on your computer all day, so we will have a bunch of meetings to ask the questions, to talk with developers, with designers, with product people. And you also need to have a strong business view, like a high-level picture about what we are doing within the company, what's our business, and what about our users, who are they, who are our user personas, how do they use the system. So yeah, this part is also...
Yeah. Did the role of being a product owner help you be a better tester, actually?
Of course.
Yeah.
Everything helped.
Yeah, so, okay.
Every experience you have helps you to be a better tester. I know some testers that are actually not from technical side at all.
Yeah, I noticed that, yeah.
They are also great.
Yeah.
Okay, they will not be persons who will build the tools for automation, for example, but they will be really good in testing and strategizing and other stuff. So.
Another question, so where do you get from, what department do you get the most error reporting, bug reporting? Is it support, or is that a bad sign, because when you get something from support, it means that it's already live, it's already in production, but so you have to, I assume that you have to be like really close to some colleagues within support, and you have to have good communication with them, and what other departments are really relevant? So I presume also developers and...
Of course, development.
Yeah.
Development first, because you work really a lot of your time with developers. Also product managers, but also support. Support and past tickets, past incidents, are really a great source of information. For example, we were building payments application from scratch. What I did is I checked all past incidents we had in our old system, and when I tested the new system, I tried to find again those things.
So you use past experience.
Because why? Because I knew something about their architecture we are actually using within the new system, and I knew that some part of the old system will be used in the new system. And this is why I looked for the past incidents. I wouldn't do that if I knew that we are building something from scratch. I would probably take a look. I'd less support, but wouldn't spend much time testing.
Sure.
But yeah, you also need to communicate with support. And as you said, it's really good when you don't have much input from them.
Support, yeah. I've noticed that there's obviously some character qualities that a tester has to have. And I noticed like communication, you mentioned the word communication a lot.
Yes.
So you have to be very open and outgoing. Is that something that you can basically, in a sense, when you talk to other people that are not exactly, so the tech community in general is a little bit introverted. So when you have to like open someone up, so you have to like use some tactics in talking with someone. So what's your experience there?
People tactics.
Okay.
I do a lot of people tactics. This is why I mentioned getting to know the people you're working with, because you want those bugs to be fixed, because you're a tester and you really want them to go away. And sometimes the product manager will not have the same opinion about it. And you need to know how to play with a particular person. Sometimes a different set of words will get you what you want. But I wouldn't say you need to be outgoing and communicative to be a good tester. I wouldn't say that's like must-have, because I worked a lot with people who are totally introverted. I was when I started. Look at me now, talking. I was also introverted. I had a really big issue to talk with people because I was shy, and it's not a problem, because if you like what you do, you will start to talk with people eventually. So
I get the feeling that testers have it better when they work when they're employed in the same company for a longer periods of time, because they get to know the people. I think that they probably have a harder time when they don't know anyone.
Yes, probably, but it's a trap. It's a good and a bad thing.
Oh, okay.
Working on the same company and the same product, it can be a trap, because why? Sometimes you get too used to something that actually bothered you in the beginning. I had this situation yesterday with the product I launched. I totally didn't see one thing that my colleague was like, hey, what's this? Tell them please to improve this, suggest them. I was like, I know, I didn't notice that.
Oh, okay.
It's a good thing.
To have a fresh pair of eyes.
Yes, but it depends what you want to do.
Okay.
It's a good thing to practice more, practice. This is what makes you a better tester.
Sure.
But I wouldn't say that somebody is a better tester just because they spend a lot of time within the company. You can have a really great tester that just came up this week. Why not?
Okay. Does anyone else have some questions maybe? We have a question. So,
from your experience, what's like the usual or average ratio of developers to testers? Number of developers in one person team?
I really like this question because I got this question a couple of times. From my experience, I don't know. Why? Because it depends on the company. For example, We are a team of seven, and three of the team members are doing automation, and 4 members are doing something we call quality control, a lot of exploratory testing, and risk analysis and strategy. So we are a team of 7, and we are serving 20 development teams, and each team has like 4 or 5 developers. So it depends how you are organized with the company. We are organized like a separate, let's say a separate agency within the company. So we are a separate team. We are not inside development teams. That is kind of a usual setup. I worked also in that setup. And this is why I don't know the answer to this question, because it depends on the process you are actually working on. So, sorry. And I'm also a fan of having testers as a separate team within the company, because you need, as you said, you asked me about those like characteristics. You need to be independent, and you can be independent if you are within the team, because it's going to be hard to tell your colleague, hey, you have a really nasty bug here.
But isn't it making it a bit difficult to adapt to all these different projects and products?
It's difficult, but if you plan, if you communicate a lot, if you plan things, it's not difficult. We are also organized like similar to development teams. We plan our weeks and our sprints, and we always have dedicated troubleshooter for quick testing we need to do from time to time. But yeah, it's really hard. You need to be systematic and plan things and organize your work, your daily work accordingly. It's not ad hoc. I don't know what I'm going to test this week. I always know for major things. And you need to get the people to inform you about it. And this is the hardest part.
Sure. Does anyone else have some questions?
Yeah,
Okay.
short question, maybe perhaps with a longer answer. How do you go about actually determining what to test? Do you like just go blindly to the application, or does the client perhaps give you like a set, we need to ensure that this part of the application looks like this, blah, blah, blah. Like, how do you go about this? Because depending on what type of project you're working on, maybe perhaps the approach differs. So I'm actually quite interested about this.
This is a great question. So, it depends. First thing, I like to, when I get a totally new product, let's say I don't know nothing about it, and I'm not having the opportunity to talk with someone about it. First, what I will do, let's go into survey testing. I will try to explore things, but on the surface. And while doing that, I will write down anything fishy that happens during this process, because these parts are the parts that I will do deep testing after that. Another case is when you have a person you can talk to. So, for example, you will sit down with the product manager and ask, so what's important to you, for me to test this week? So what features are most important, most used by clients? And I will adjust my testing on these features and spend more time testing that. Of course, I will not neglect the rest of the application, but I'm here to help other people, so I will ask them if something is more important for them to test. And also, I will never test something that is not finished. Sometimes developers are working on something, and I want to bother them to tell them, oh, there are bugs. Yes, of course they are in the progress. So this is also one thing that I will take care about. Not sure if I answered your question.
Roughly. So basically that means that everything is mostly related to talking to the product owner, so to say, in order to determine what basically is the goal. And then depending on this, you choose either surface scratching or something
Some
specific.
deep testing. Yeah, this is one source of information. Another source is I also like to use product metrics. We are measuring the usage. We are measuring different things in our application.
So kind of like KPIs?
We have APIs and we also have
KPIs, key performance metrics.
let's call it like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So we are measuring how many people are using this flow, how many of them click here, or stuff like that. So this is also one source of information that I will use to adjust what to test. Because, as I said, if something is used, I will test that. This is how I decide. And I also plan my testing. Before I start, I never start like just testing. Open the application and start clicking. I always start testing on a paper, writing all the product elements that are there. Then I look for, so what's the risky business here? I found about all stuff when talking to people or checking the usage from the applications we have. And then I start testing. And I also time box my testing. I also have like session of 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes. This is just my measurement. And after that, I report all the bugs and plan for the next session. Because there is always something you will find out that it's fishy, it behaves really strange, and you need more time to investigate just this feature.
Okay, and just a small follow-up. How do you approach retesting certain features?
Okay.
Because sometimes it's possible that once you're at the stage of development that you unintentionally break something or something evolves, to put it nicely, in a very strange manner. So how do you approach this? Do you always kind of like plan for retesting, or does this also kind of depend?
This is a really good reason when automation comes to help. So for regression, it's really wise to do to automate those flows that are really critical, so a developer can just test for themselves, run all the jobs they need to run, and this is like a quick feedback. We also use tools, as I said. So I'm a fan of doing that because you really, when you're changing a little bit something in the backend, this is where automation and tools we use come to help.
Okay.
I won't test that.
Yeah, but also
Manually.
it's not that you cannot cover, let's say, to automated testing, because whatever you can handle for automated testing, you probably won't even touch so often, if at all, manually. So I'm more interested in the stuff that you actually need to do manually as opposed to.
Can you repeat this question?
So I'm interested in how do you approach retesting stuff which cannot be covered through automated testing.
Okay, it's also, this is the case when we do like quick testing. So developer will probably ask us, hey, I just made some changes. Hey, can you test that? We will do a quick round of testing and just give a quick feedback, quick as possible. This is why we have in the team this dedicated troubleshooter, just for tasks like that. So we will test that as well and stick to the scope that is related to the change. Sometimes when they change something, it actually touched another part of the application. We should also look there.
So then basically, if we were to conclude, that would mean that during retesting, you would mostly be talking to developers, less so to like product owners and others.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, this is like one-on-one. We use Slack, we have support channel in Slack, and just developer, hey, I fixed this or I changed this. They just describe what they did. This is it. This is all I need, and 15 minutes later, or depends. they will get information from us. So it's really quick.
Okay, last question. How knowledgeable do you need to be in regards to the actual implementation of the application in order to know how to properly test? Is this even an important case?
You don't have to, but it helps. But you really don't have to. Sometimes it's better you don't know some things. But no, it's not a must-have.
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you for the talk.
Thank you.